Hi, my name is Sheldon Brummel. I'm with the Great Plains Master Beekeeping Program, and I'm the project coordinator for the program. We're headquartered here out of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, but I just wanted to give a quick intro. So again, my name is Sheldon Brummel. I have a little bit of background with the military. I'm a company commander in a Nebraska National Guard Scout unit. I'm also an infantry officer. Go Rangers lead the way. And so I'm in the U.S. Army National Guard, and that's kind of my connection with the military community. I have my father was Air Force, my father-in-law and mother-in-law are both Navy. My wife is also National Guard, so a lot of military ties in my family. So working with veterans is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm looking forward to working with a lot of veterans who come from Heroes to Hives and they want to transition and grow their education in beekeeping, and they want to join the Great Plains Master Beekeeping Program. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to report your hours, report your volunteering, report your field training. So I'm going to show on my screen the Great Plains Master Beekeeping website. And here it is. So this is kind of the explanation of the program. I can become a member by clicking here. But today I'm going to be reporting. Let's say I'm already a member and I want to report. So I'm going to go to member reporting. And underneath each one of these tabs, there is a way to report your field hours. If you're confused, you can click here and it'll walk you through each one of those. But there's 3 different methods. So I need to report field training, courses that I've taken, and volunteering. So because you guys are Heroes to Hives, I'm going to show you guys your courses taken first. So I'm going to fill out my name. So I'm going to say, let's say that I'm in Michigan and I want to report Heroes to Hives. And that's what I'm going to do. Once that survey has been recorded, it's going to send an email to your instructor, whatever course you've taken. Since it's Heroes to Hives, it's going to go to Adam, and he's going to click whether you took the course or whether you didn't. So make sure you complete your course, and then you won't have any issues. But if you do, reach out to either of us, and we can rectify that. My name is Sheldon Brummel, Great Plains Master Beekeeping Project Coordinator, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about what the Great Plains Master Beekeeping Project is, what we do, who we are, and kind of the goals, as well as how you can transition from the Heroes to Hives training program, which receives credit for Great Plains Master Beekeeping requirements, and you can transfer those credits into the program and continue your beekeeping education. So I'm going to talk very quickly about the purpose, partners, structure, and then how you can progress through the program. So we're here to provide training, mentoring for new and advanced beekeepers. So we partner with people who've been beekeeping for 30+ years and people who've been beekeeping for just 1. And we really stress biology, pest pathogens, understanding the nuances of bees, as well as we touch on land stewardship and professional development, kind of that holistic training. And again, you're going to see a lot of militaryisms that are imported into the program, because I took a lot of those things that I learned that worked in the military, and I use that structure to kind of help guide the program. So we have learning objectives, we have very cut and dry requirements, but then just like in the military, how everyone adds their own flair to things, we don't make people not add their own flair to things. We just have them required to touch on certain things. But again, if you're an instructor or you want to become an instructor, you can have your own fun flair to things. You just have to cover specific things. And the reason we do this is because we want to make sure that there's scientifically vetted information and that people can become good beekeepers no matter who they learn from, because we require people to teach on these certain specific things that are scientifically backed. The reason we have this program, the reason it's been created, is because a lot of beekeepers are experiencing higher than average losses for many years. There's a lot of diverse landscapes in the Midwest, but it's also, and in the Great Plains region, but it's also a lot of intense agriculture. There's higher risk for agrochemical, and then there's also wild weather fluxes. The reason we have the Great Plains region as a target is because there's already master beekeeping programs on the West Coast and the East Coast. They're a little bit different than ours, but We here are targeting the center of the country where a lot of beekeepers are in the first place, but a lot of other weather requirements are much, much different. So if you get training on the West or East Coast, it might not reflect as well here in the Midwest because we have differences. And we also want to create, there's a huge influx of people that are interested in keeping bees, and we want to take people who are bee havers, who just want to think they can throw insects in a box, and we want them to become beekeepers, people who keep the bees, because again, these are agricultural insects, so you need to be treating them and checking them consistently. I'm sure Adam has talked a lot about that in the Heroes to Hives program, but we emphasize it, and that's why we're partnered with them, is we have similar goals. We want to make beekeepers better beekeepers. So we want to provide opportunities for professional growth as well. Especially there's a lot of great opportunities for veterans. Lots of very niche things that you guys can get into that other people don't have as quick access to as veterans. And so it's great because we can take that training from the military and that regimented understanding of processes, and we can move those into professional growth and also education. And so we have many, many, many partners, including Heroes to Hives. There's a partner page on the website. And then we have a governing committee. And so the governing committee is all the different partners. Each state, if you want to have your beekeeping association become a partner, you can reach out to us. And then basically they can have a board on the seat on the governing committee, which is where they can actually discuss where they want to target specific trainings for your state. So if the Northeast Kansas Beekeepers Association, NECBA, if they're having issues, they can reach out and say, hey, we want to talk about this pest or this disease or this, that. And then we can actually target training for those different areas. So that's what the governing committee does. They kind of guide the program. And if you're in a state that doesn't have a representative here, just reach out to us and we can work with your associations and get you on the partners page. And the reason is because we want to build that network as well as getting the certifications and the training. We want to also build a network. And so the reason that that's important is because that's going to allow for that flexing of different skills in different areas to be able to basically address different issues. And it also creates consistency throughout the Midwest. So we're all speaking the same language. Again, I'm talking to the crowd here with military because we use so many acronyms, but it's so that we're all speaking the same language. And GPMB wants to do the same thing with beekeepers. And this will allow for rapid response as well. So like I said, if we have issues, we can address them. And then the reason that beekeeping associations are going to benefit from being in the Great Plains Master Beekeeping Program, and if you're an association member or board member or you're going to join one, this is why it's important. It's because we mesh recruitment and volunteering because, like I said, I'm going to talk here in a minute about the program structure, but because of our structure, we require volunteers and field training. You actually have to touch bees. You have to actually get in and volunteer and help those associations. It's that feedback loop that's important for providing mentors and mentees as well as hours of training. And so we require those things, and that's why beekeeping associations benefit when they become one of our partners. And so, like I said, there's 3 structures in the program: apprentice, journeyman, and master. The program is self-paced. As a Heroes to Hives member, you guys have been taking this course throughout the year, and you guys are going to touch on everything the apprentice needs to know. So you guys will actually be able to jump right into the journeyman, and I'll show you guys how to do that here in a second. But as a Heroes to Hives member, that's what you get access to immediately. The apprentice level is just that, hey, we can get you off the ground running. The journeyman level, I'll talk on that, is more mid-level, and then the master is where you get to work in a lot more professional development, teaching, hands-on. It's a lot more nuanced when you get to the master level. And so we also offer exploratory courses, which are like a taster. I call them the appetizer to beekeeping, and they're a great resource. If you guys become a journeyman, you can start to teach those to your friends and colleagues and schools, things like that, and we can give you those resources to teach that. And then as far as the learning objectives, this is a complex slide here, but if you look, it's just they're numbered. So there's B's, E's, L's, and then there's a number associated with each class. And inside of those, there are subtopic requirements, but that's for just kind of what the teacher needs to teach on. But if I say, hey, I'm really interested in pollination, I'm a master beekeeper, I want to learn more about crop pollination and how I can get contracts, I would just look at 3.12 and I would say, hey, I want to teach or I want to learn a class on that learning objective. And so that's basically what the learning objectives do. And if you look at your guys' course you're taking and the level 1 learning objectives, you'll see that they match up precisely. And so again, exploratory courses, they don't count for credit, but they're just a good ability to teach other people. We offer them in Spanish as well as English. But if you guys want to teach them as a journeyman, we can give you guys those learning resources so you can actually start to teach other people. And the reason we want to teach exploratory is just to get people off the ground, teach them how much it costs to get started. And if they don't want to do bees, we can give them an avenue of, hey, you should plant more flowers, which is great for us as beekeepers because it, again, more habitat. That's really what it's all about. And it prevents people who wouldn't be committed from buying all the equipment and getting into bees and then creating a varroa mite bomb, which is a bunch of varroa mites that are going to spread to your hives. And so we target that landscape level nutrition, which is really the important part, especially for people who might not go further on into bees. And so we're a tiered system, level 1, 2, and 3, apprentice, journeyman, master. Those are kind of the rough year experiences that we're looking for people getting in. And so you guys, as moving from the apprentice, you guys will be in 0 to 2-ish years, and you guys can actually start taking journeyman classes a little bit ahead of time. You can start testing out into the program, and then you can start taking those journeyman level classes as well as the apprentice ones you guys have already touched on this year. And so these are the different subcategories that we talk about. We talk about skills. We talk about like what you need to do and why. We talk about biology and ecology. So what are the bees doing and what is it about their biology and understanding that can help us with managing them. We talk about land stewardship, which is the feeding of the bees, right? The ecosystem around them. And then we talk a little bit about the economic development and all these different levels about how to structure your business, how to pay for bees, how to become profitable, how to create contracts, things like that. And then we talk about professional development as well. We touch on those, and that's how to teach other people, because you guys as beekeepers, you are now an advocate for bees, whether you like it or not. And so we teach people how to basically fight misinformation and educate other people. So the apprentice level, it's going to be very much, this is what you guys are in as Heroes to Hives members. This is what you're in right now. And so it's going to be management, a lot of management, very little on the professional development type stuff, because you're here to learn about bees. So we're going to get you in the bees. We talk about sustaining hives, installing hives, safety, biology, basic level stuff, etiquette, the ways to act in the apiary, the ways to treat your equipment so they don't break. And the apprentice level will get someone out the door with the skills needed to keep a beehive alive. So this apprentice level is what you guys are in right now. And then what can happen is you guys can start to preload and start to take testing and move into the journeyman level right after this class is over into 2022, or if you're watching this video later, whatever subsequent year you have where you're actually getting bees. And so what you need to actually advance is you need to complete your learning objectives, which you're doing right now with the Heroes to Hives program. You also have to have volunteer hours. So we require 10 hours per year, 20 hours cumulatively. And then you have to have 20 field hours. So that's actually getting your hands in the hives. And then you pass an exam online, and then you pass a test, a field test. And then that's where you pay $80 for your exam, which is online, and an in-person exam. It's structured a lot like a military PT test. So it's going to be someone reading the dialogue, and then they're going to be following you, and you're going to be doing different things in a hive. And they're going to say, show me X, show me Y, show me Z. And you're going to be showing them those things. And that's how you're going to be passing that field test, because we, unlike other programs, require you guys to get in the bees and show that you know how to use hive tools and properly move around the hive and interact with bees before we give you certifications into that next level. And so once you pass all that, again, you can be taking some of the level 2 classes while you're in level 1. That's okay. You just won't have that certification yet, but that's okay, because level 2 is kind of that mid-level, the lost years is what we call them. And this is where you're going to be honing those skills. You're going to be doing a lot more economic development. You're going to be getting that more experience. You're going to be able to start feeding back and helping those apprentice beekeepers with oversight. You'll be able to assist with classes that master beekeepers are putting on, as well as you'll be able to teach your own exploratory courses by yourself, because you know enough at this point to be able to answer most general questions. And if you don't, you can refer them back to master beekeepers or up the chain of command, essentially. And then you can start to do other outreach and things like that. So journeyman level is really where you kind of get to spread your wings a little bit more. You're not an apprentice, you're not just a complete noob, but you're getting in the bees and you're starting to understand a little bit more, so that we start to allow for more of that outreach and teaching aspects. And so this is, again, you have to complete all the learning objectives in that level. You have to have another 20 hours of volunteering, so that feeds back into your association if you're active or even semi-active in your associations or are near associations. You guys will be able to get those volunteer hours very easily, as well as the field hours. Those are very much, again, very easy to obtain. And then you pay a $100 testing fee to go into the next level, which is your master level. And that is where you are now starting to become the wizard of bees. You're starting to learn a lot more. You're starting to be able to teach others on it. You're going to be probably at least 5-ish years into beekeeping at this point. And you're going to be a major voice for beekeepers. You'll probably be a leader in your associations. And if you don't want to be, you'll still be a great mentor for other beekeepers. And so this is where we focus more on advocacy, communication, becoming a force multiplier, start teaching other courses, working with the program more closely so that we can spread that knowledge of bees to others around you. And so this one, again, is you don't have to complete all of the different credits, but you have to touch on most of them. And this is, again, where we kind of get to pick your own story. You can, if you're focused more on commercial level things, we can move you to more commercial level classes. If you want to focus more on the hobbyist and education side, we can do that as well. You have to have more additional education credits. And then again, the volunteer and field hours at this point, they're too easy to get, especially with all the open apiaries and trainings and mentoring that you'll be doing at this level. It's too easy. And at the very last section is you do basically the final step is you do a project where you just create something almost like a master's degree. Instead of writing a thesis or something crazy, we just do a very small little project, and then boom, you are a fully certified master beekeeper. And again, these are the different levels here. Try not to confuse you, but they touch, you guys can see kind of the flow of color here. A lot of management on the first and second year, and then a little bit less, but more of the professional development into those last years. And so here is kind of the flow that I'm talking about. So here's the requirements. You pay, and then now you're a journeyman. You take your field test, and now you're a master. And then when you finish your project, it's a very short project. It's something that feeds into the rest of the program. Once you have completed your project, you get access to all of the other projects that all of the other master beekeepers have done, as well as all of the teaching material that the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Bee Lab uses. So you'll be able to teach your own courses at this point, and you'll have access to all of those other things that other master beekeepers have created. So we have queen breeding programs that we're starting up. We have different DIY guides and ways to incorporate bees into agricultural zoning laws. We have all of these kind of tools that you can use. And so that's what you get when you complete your final master's project. And so the courses are listed on the website. They're constantly changing. We have online and in-person courses that are offered, and they'll show what they're worth for learning objectives, as well as if they have field credits. This is what the website looks like right now. There are some changes that are coming down the line with logins. Currently, we do not need you to log in. This is just for admin. All you have to do is click on become a member, and you can become a member. And when you are completing different things, you go to member reporting, and under that tab is all of the different volunteer field education reporting, and you just type in, this is what I took, submit. And I'm going to have a quick video that's going to show you guys how to do that. But here's a little example of what all the courses look like. You can click on them. They have different states, so you guys will be able to have your state listed if it has field training or training in that area, and then you'll be able to see the different standards that it fulfills down below. And open apiary, this is going to be something that needs to be run by the minimum of a journeyman beekeeper, usually with oversight of a master beekeeper. It's a loose structure, it's hands-on, it's opening hives, it's getting training in the field and getting those field training credits. So usually the way we have it structured is a master and a journeyman beekeeper. They both get that field training, and then if they're the journeyman, the lower level, or whoever owns the bees, the other person gets volunteer credit. So it's open, it's free to the public. We have veteran specific ones, which are really great. You get to come in and talk. We open up the hives, we go through them. And we basically talk about what's happening in the apiary. And we'll have kind of a loose structure for people to follow, but for the most part, it's going through the hive, seeing what other people's bees look like. We use the research apiary here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and we have some other out yards we use throughout the state. So your state will have locations that'll have open apiaries. And again, why should people join the program? Why would I transfer my credits from Heroes to Hives into Great Plains Master Beekeeping? It's because you get accreditation, you get that certification that shows that you've done the work, that you know what you're doing. You have access to these advanced classes, you get cutting edge research. So like the bottom right here, we're working with dead bee trapping to basically find directionality to pesticide kills. And so, or acute pesticide exposure, which is, or acute or even long-term pesticide exposure. And we're using dead bee traps to do that. You get access to open apiary, you get opportunities for volunteering, for field training. You get a lot of bee-centric training for your economic development as well. So you could go to a business class somewhere, but if they might not have the right answers for bee-related questions. We're gonna have bee-related seminars and talks on bee businesses specifically. And we also are gonna be creating that regional network. So we're gonna be able to have rapid response to pest issues. You can bring up your chain of command through your associations that are partnered. You can bring up issues and we can send down technicians, we can send down trainers, we can send down people who can train the trainers. And so that's kind of the role of this program. And we also, again, mites are always an issue, so we can actually do targeted mite attacks across the network at the same time. That's another ongoing project that we're testing. And so we're also moving with expanding beekeeping operations with queen rearing and queen breeding programs. And so those are coming down the pipe with some different grant fundings that we're going to be pursuing in the future. And so in conclusion, the whole point of this program is to go forth and make more and make better beekeepers. And we want to certify courses and we want to participate. So Heroes to Hives members, definitely if you guys are interested, please join.